I'm not going to promise it, boys. I think we're live on YouTube. This is a live, oh boy, I need to find where. Live podcast. What are we going to talk about?
Wait,
you gonna talk about our stranger over here? And our,
boy, he's a stranger we drug in, ain't he?
We just did a podcast with him. I think it did more of a roast.
Yeah, we roasted pretty good, didn't we?
I've had better beatings.
I didn't. You guys will just have to stay tuned. I just asked questions that he didn't want to answer, so I just kept asking questions.
Engineers are too good.
How's our audio? Is our wireless mics picking up? Can you tell? I still need to find our code.
Yeah, I can hear it there. So.
All right, good deal.
We just ain't got nobody on there. I think we're catching everybody by surprise here. There's one coming in there already. So.
They'll randomly start showing up. So we do have a podcast. We do have a podcast scheduled for close.
How's Catherine doing? She's popped in there already.
Michigan. Long story short, we did have a podcast scheduled for today. Actually, it's one you and I recorded.
Okay.
We didn't get a chance to get it up, so we're recording a few podcasts. Worksalot's actually in town. He may or may not show up here at some point during the live feed, but we're waiting on Captain Cleveland's supposed to be up here for a podcast.
Captain's coming in.
If you guys got any questions you want us to...
So, Worksalot's drove 11 hours, but he hasn't made it to the
he hasn't made it through the door yet, so hopefully he'll be here sooner rather than later, but we just finished up a podcast with Gator over here.
Yeah, Gator.
And for you guys that don't know, Gator's an engineer by trade.
Somebody don't like engineers.
Yeah. And he also used to work for Cummins, and somebody don't like Cummins.
Somebody don't like Cummins here, do they?
And we still get along every now and then.
I will point out that somebody don't like answering questions.
Yeah, well, you can't let all the info
You
out.
knew that was coming.
I still answered a few of them for you.
Yeah, I know.
No, that was a good podcast.
I guess this is where we have to agree to disagree on some of the answers.
I'm glad you agreed I was right.
I agree to disagree with that.
He tried to convince me you had to be cocky to be a good engineer.
Yeah.
No, I tried to convince you had to have a level of cockiness or thick skin.
Oh, we'll have to listen to see how that conversation went. Yeah, I think he's trying to say, well, that didn't work. Let's throw this dart at the wall and see what happens with that one.
I am an engineer.
Well, I think you won the bet so far.
What's that?
You said that thing in the background was going to generate some comments.
What thing? To me? I'm in the background.
Oh, you're the background. Okay.
That's not my truck. That's Clint's truck.
That's what I heard. You didn't buy a truck. Clint bought a truck.
You want to talk about the other thing that used to be in the background of these podcasts that about killed me the other day?
I heard about killed you.
I was in a horrific bus accident, if anybody didn't know.
I've heard
horrific bus
accident. Who was the driver?
Who do you think was the driver of this horrific bus accident?
Somebody in driving lessons?
Now, I thought I was going to emergency room last night. I'm pretty sure I got a broken rib. It was bad. So, for you guys that don't know, Mrs. Dirt Perfect, against my better judgment, I bought Mrs. Dirt Perfect a bus that's converted into a camper. This particular bus has air brakes on it, which she is legal to drive because it has an RV plate.
RV license plate.
Somebody's going to catch me on that technicality. So, it's been in the shop. Her and the kids have been sanding and playing on it or whatever, and it had to go because new project showed up, aka White Elephant.
Yeah,
that's what we should call it, maybe White Elephant.
There used to be a truck driver around here called White Elephant.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can sound of that.
Yeah.
There used to be one called Loose Nut too, or Loose Lug Nut, or whatever his name was.
Lug Nut, yeah. Yeah, Lug Nut.
But anyways, I thought it was a beautiful day. The bus is parked outside. I thought, well, I'll be a nice guy and teach her how to drive the bus.
Yeah.
It's an automatic bus. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. She gets in there, fires it up. I show her how to build air, show her how to release the parking brake. She drives it up the driveway. No issues. All right, we're cruising right along. So if you guys don't know, whenever you leave my house, it's a paved road. Kind of goes up around a hill. And it's just the slightest downhill to a gradual right-hand turn. We're going maybe 10 mile an hour. Maybe 10 mile an hour. And I'm recording for her channel with her phone. Now, in my defense, I'm standing forward of the white line, you know. So I'm standing on the steps, videoing her driving, talking to the kids Like, we're literally moving 10 mile an hour. I swear we're moving 10 mile an hour. And we were like a mile and a half from the turn in the road. And out of nowhere, she slams on the brakes. I go, BAM! I bounce off the dash, the windshield, the phone goes flying.
I've seen the video. You see Jenna, then you see the ceiling, the floor, the dash, and everything else.
If you guys aren't familiar with the old international school buses, they got this metal thing that goes right below the windshield. I think it's the ductwork for the like defrost. I dented that booger, man, with my rib right there. Oh,
Didn't know camping was so rough.
Oh, yeah. They went, why would you want a bus? This is why I don't want a bus. It's an occupational hazard to have a bus.
So she marginal driving forward. She know what reverse is yet? And trying to get it into a camping spot.
She got it turned around one time, but we were in a 40-acre field.
A 40-acre field, yeah. SOT's in the house.
How's SOT feeling, man? He was under the weather the other day when we talked to him. So Logan wants to know whose dump truck is that. That's Clint's dump truck.
Yeah. It's just sitting here.
Don't make me laugh. It hurts right there. Defrost.
But within an hour of that thing being unloaded, the C8500 was on a trailer and rolling out.
Yeah, so this truck showed up, C8500 hit the road. It's got a new home down in Evansville. I think it's a good home.
That was a quick turnaround.
Is that Lieutenant Dan, little brother?
Little brother.
We talked about calling it Little Dan. You guys are going to have to, I know everybody wants to know about the white truck in the background, but you guys are just going to have to stay tuned to the other channel for that. See how I engineered my way out of that?
Yeah. Heard the beeping. Can't exactly answer that right now.
I'll circle back to you,
Yeah,
sir.
there you go. Let me get back to you on that.
Circle back around to it.
I'll never do so.
You sound like Biden's press secretary. I'll circle back to that.
Rhonda Sweeney said she saw the invoice for the dump truck and it's not in Clinton's name. Who's she? I don't know. We need to do some background information here.
Whoops, some background.
Somebody mistyped there, Rhonda. the invoice. I'm trying to figure out where she would have worked at the scene. According to my bank statement, I do actually own the truck now.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, you guys have to stay tuned to their channel for that. If you guys that followed CNC Equipment's videos in Florida, you got a pretty good little teaser of what's actually coming up. So we got almost 200 people in here. Holy cow!
Yeah.
We don't really have
How's everybody
anything.
doing?
We don't really have anything particular to talk about. We just thought we'd get on here and hang out a little bit and see what everybody's up to. Like I said, we just got done with a podcast with Gator talking about engineers and how much we love them, and Cummins and how much we love Cummins, and farming and alternative fuels. And Chris and I got a pretty good podcast coming out next weekend talking about rental versus lease versus owning.
Yeah.
And the pros and cons of all the above and why you may do one over the
There's
other.
a home for one, all of them.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, that ended up being a pretty good conversation. And the man behind the scenes chimed in there with something.
And we've done a second podcast, but we don't know how it's going to turn out.
The video of it got lost. We still got the audio.
Okay.
But you want to talk about why we did the second podcast? And why we had the topic we had?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Our guests failed to
Let's
show
talk.
up, didn't they?
Let's talk.
Oh, here we go again.
We should discuss, Farmer Chris.
Our guest
I'll let you take this.
forgot what day
Could
tomorrow is.
you remind me what our guest does for an occupation?
He's claimed to be a redneck engineer, but
he can't read the calendar.
he can't read dates on text messages.
Yes. This is almost as embarrassing as my bus accident.
Oh no, you could way too less on the bus accident. Trust
Don't
me.
make me laugh. It hurts.
And finding an engineer that really follows the calendar.
This is true.
Yeah.
You guys work in like, I don't know, dog
He's on-
years or something.
He's on DP's video schedule. He's always 2 months behind.
Easy, Chris. Hey, you guys, somebody on Chris Let's Dig 18's channel, he Chris was the last one to post a video from Florida.
Yeah.
They said, I can't believe it, DP beat you. He's using the History Channel. I'm like, that's really clever, but I don't like it. I'm mad.
Yeah.
But it's true. We tried to have a podcast scheduled with this guy. Chris sent Gator a text on Wednesday night. And said,
No, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
He said, hey, can you do a podcast tomorrow?
Somebody
He responds on Tuesday morning, sure, and then Wednesday morning, and then shows up Thursday.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, tomorrow was the Tuesday I said, not tomorrow, Wednesday when you read it.
But,
It falls under the engineering. I'm sure I'm not wrong
Yeah.
about that. So.
it's...
Engineer by trade, but highly involved with the school's football program, I'm going to say, weightlifting program.
As much as I can.
Yeah.
Should we throw his daughter under the bus?
Daughter?
Since she's not here?
Yeah, no, she's
Absolutely.
not here. Yeah.
So, for you guys that don't know, so your daughter, oldest, I guess I should say,
Yeah.
actually, I guess she technically works for me. I do pay her occasionally.
Occasionally.
But she actually helps me with some of my social media stuff. So if you guys leave me a very rude comment on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok,
She's
it's probably
one
not me this season. It's probably Cindy this season.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just keep that in mind. But no, I think that podcast turned out pretty good. That'll probably be up in 2 weeks, if I had to guess. So
Yeah.
I was nice for the most part.
It was a good conversation.
Debating.
Even though I took the beatings. But that's okay.
Logan Daddy says, I thought you were the first in line to buy the C8500. You got the dump trailer. You don't need to see
Well, I wasn't first in line for the truck, but I had first right of refusal and I refused it, so I want to say that. But I did end up at the short dump trailer for the semi, and that kind of fills the holes I need for a lot less money because I already had the engine and power horse with it. So.
What he's trying to say is he knows he can borrow this whenever he wants a line on one.
Well, I mean,
That sounds that way.
Yeah.
I don't use one that much for sure, but
But whenever I do need one, I can just call mine.
yeah.
I don't know who to call when I need gravel.
I really didn't even know I was buying a dump trailer because I come down. I brought a semi-load of straw.
I kind of sent you home with a dump trailer.
Well, who's that trailer take home at church? Okay.
But that goes the other way because now I know where it's at if I need that one.
Yep, yep.
So it kind of goes both ways. Max Obrera, I did not. I apologize. I'm assuming he's talking about the video I did like the first of the year where I asked everybody to guess how many subs I'd have by the end of the year, but you had to have your submission in July.
Yep.
I think I turned over 150 right at the beginning of the year, if I remember right.
Okay.
I never did go back through that. That video got so many comments, that got a little more complicated than what I thought it was going to. I still need to do that, Max. I apologize. I had a lady send me a nasty comment message on Facebook about how she ordered a shirt and hasn't got it yet.
For real.
It's like, I don't know, it's like 3 weeks out, which is probably longer than what it should have been, but I'm not Amazon. You know, the t-shirt deal is something
Not 2-day delivery.
yeah, the t-shirt deal is something we try just to do as a thank you. We don't make a whole lot of money on it. Jenna takes care of that. We got kids and travel and everything going on right now. We try to get them out as fast as we can, especially around Christmas time and stuff, but every once in a while one gets drug out a little bit, and I apologize, but
Lee Harris,
It is what it
32 and no wind.
wonder where he's at.
I don't know. We're a little warmer. We got mid-50s here lately.
Yeah.
We've had one good 70-degree
We
day
had
there
70
last week.
last Wednesday.
What was it? Was it yesterday the wind was blowing and it was pretty cold?
Yeah.
But it's about time to get back in the dirt farm, Chris, for both of
It's
us.
getting really time, but I've got a family vacation coming up. You've got one more trade show
And then I
and
got
a little honeydew vacation. That costs a small fortune, I think.
Oh, no, I ain't want to think about it. For what I paid to go on this vacation, I could have bought that truck, and I overpaid for the truck.
But you got some things in mind you want to do there, so I mean it.
Joshua Craig, how do you feel about Fox Block and have you used them? Joshua, I've actually got videos posted of using Fox Block. I have built several houses out of Fox Block. ICF in general is great no matter what the company is. Depending on what you're doing, they are not quite as user-friendly as other brands. I'm not going to mention the other brand right now for other reasons, but they will still get you to your end result. Fox Block are a lot more readily available. Some other brands, they get used quite a bit, and there's just, oh man, I'm going around the bush here, but there's some tricks to that particular block. You learn over time. It makes it a lot easier. Once you learn those tricks, there's no issues
So
whatsoever.
you've used Fox Block though.
I have quite a bit.
Was that, correct me if I'm wrong, did you use that on your grandma's back
Yep.
porch?
Yep.
I
I think Grandma's back porch is the only one I actually videoed Fox Block
okay.
on, but back whenever we were doing ICF big time,
Yep.
we used Fox Block on several bigger projects. Fox Block bought Reward Ball, and I don't know why they didn't keep the Reward Ball form and get rid of the Fox Block form. The Reward Ball form was really nice.
Was it?
I really liked it. I like the Reward Ball form better than I like the Fox Block form, but they did away with the Reward Ball form and kept the Fox Block form. So, fun random fact about Fox Block: it's based out of Oklahoma, and they are made out of. They used to be made out of the waste of all the Omaha steak coolers.
Really?
They recycled them into ICF. The area they were in right there, they also recycled. They also made insulated train cars, and they used a lot of that foam and recycled it into ICF because it didn't. And with all that being said, one issue you will have with Fox Block is the shrinkage. Their blocks are not consistently the same size as other manufacturers because they're kind of hodgepodge together of some stuff. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it may get you in a little bit of trouble. One block may be a quarter inch shorter, one may be a quarter inch longer. If they end up right beside each other, you're a half inch off. So you really got to pay attention to some of
What
that.
they got.
Now I haven't stacked a big project with them in several years, but that was the big fight we fought back then. I talked to all the higher ups in Fox Block back in the day, and that was kind of the explanation I got. They knew they had a problem with it. They were working on it. And they have got it corrected. Where other manufacturers, the measurements were pretty much spot on.
Have you been to Ohio building houses recently?
Not in a while.
Well, you want to know if you've helped with Brian Brown build his.
Oh no, Brian used Fox Block on his basement. I didn't watch the whole video, but I talked to Brian a few times about that here and there. But I think he's got a pretty good contractor.
Yeah.
I will say this: I watched the beginning of Brian's video of the guys digging the basement, and I think Brian was pretty bummed out that the guys installing the basement want to dig the basement.
I see.
And years ago, we made that same rule. We had a couple homeowners want to dig basements, and they were just
Horrible.
It's not that they did it wrong, but they didn't do it the way we needed it done.
Yeah.
And we just kind of made the rule too, like, listen, if we're installing the basement, we're digging the basement. And I noticed Brian's contractor had the same thought. And honestly, I get where Brian and his dad are coming from. They got the equipment, they want to do it themselves, but those guys that do it every day, they know exactly what they want. And the other thing is, if they screw it up, it's their fault, not yours. They can't poke anything back on
So
you.
was he using on the big project down in Branchville? Use Fox Block on that?
No, that was another brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The unnamed brand.
The unnamed brand.
He don't want to talk like you don't want to talk now.
Talk now.
There's some
Sounds a lot like an engineer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
there's some differences of opinions going on with that particular manufacturer. So they make an unbelievably awesome product, but
Their engineers don't want to listen.
no, it's not the engineer; it's the corporate structure.
Okay.
Oh, I can see that.
I got. There's one of them texting me right now. I got physically removed from their booth at a trade show because I voiced my opinion they didn't want to hear.
You?
Yeah.
You voiced your opinion.
He asked for it and he got it.
Well,
It's that simple.
I guess that's his
You were there
mistake,
for that,
then.
weren't you?
Yeah.
I guess that was his mistake then, wasn't it?
So it's an ongoing conversation.
I see.
Will you be painting
For
the
you
cabin?
people that are wondering, why you have not seen any ICF projects on my channel, this is why. Now, I easily could have went on the internet and blasted them and buried them in a hole and went that route. But I'm the karma's you know what goes around comes around, and the circle's coming back around, and we're having conversation, and
if it's bad enough, it'll get out anyway.
yeah. So we're just gonna continue to leave them as unnamed for now. Maybe they'll get named again in the future. We'll have to see.
I think tile season has took over more of your
Farmer Chris, tile season is all your fault.
basement pouring season.
Tile season is all Farmer Chris's fault.
Let's just go dig in 15,000 feet this year. It won't take long.
You know, 15,000 feet digging in with a track hoe, that was like a big deal, and that's like
We was out there 3 or 4 days.
we're hoping to do that. We can do that in no time now.
Yeah, that's a 2-day job with a plow.
No, but honestly, tile season's kind of been good. It's you know, if the fields are dry, you guys want to be in them, right?
Yeah.
So as long as we clean up our mess, you guys
Yeah.
usually don't matter if we're in there.
Yep.
And usually in the springtime, I think we kind of figured this out on my property with the equipment we got. We really don't. We may run it up a little, but we don't destroy the ground to where you guys can't get in there with a little bit of tillage and
Slick it back up and get going. So.
get going. So, this tile season's not looking to be. We had that big job last year.
Yeah, that was a pretty good job. But it was a good job. Flat ground. I mean.
Yeah, which is the whole reason we built the plow.
Yeah.
But we got some tile for you coming up, tile for another guy coming up. We'll probably still end up putting 30,000, 40,000 feet in or somewhere in there before it's all.
Depends on how my checkbook holds out. You know, I threw in drawings for about 20,000 feet.
Yeah, then we already got there 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
Pretty much committed. So, and then it's contagious.
Yeah. As soon as one takes off, no one goes.
Yeah, you put it in for one guy, and then everybody's.
You picked up a guy down the road here. You just last minute picked up last year while you was plowing.
Yeah, I worked for 2 different farmers right here in front of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, then you turn around and everybody sees the benefit of it. And one thing that helps me out is in our area, it's not a whole lot of pattern tiling. It's kind of addressing the issues.
For me, it's we're working on waterways and ditches. On these river bottoms, you're working on some wet spots or whatever.
Right.
But still on the river bottom, you know, you guys were still working on some ditches and washout issues here.
Yep. We were definitely going, but we talked about the old tile plow a little bit in the engineering.
It's a good thing you overrated that.
Oh, I know.
I said it never worked, Andrew. It never worked. Chris, did you see Larson's video?
I tell you what, guys, I used to watch Larson pretty hard, and I mean, I still like the videos, but I just haven't had time to watch a lot of videos. I'm too involved with too much myself, so on the volunteer status and the farm. But I try to get your phone put in the dash of your truck while you're driving down the road and try to watch a video, but it's hard to do. So.
Especially with our service around
I
there.
know.
Sean, I don't know. I used to watch Larson pretty regular too. I don't even know if I even watch my own videos. I know it's sad, ain't it?
I do try to. I mean, I definitely watch all the DP videos. And I try to watch Captain
videos.
Rarely, that's about all I really hit.
I try to hit and miss the highlights. Like if I, see a bunch of comments on my channel about something Chris did, I'll try to go see that.
Yeah.
Or if a bunch of people are commenting on my channel about Brian pouring ICF, so I jumped over and seen that. But so talking about Brian Brown, myself, Jay Paydirt, Matt from Diesel Creek, Chris Let's Dig 18, we're all going to be in Vegas March 15th at the Volvo booth about 3:30. So if you guys are out in Vegas and you want to come see us at a big meet and greet, that's going to be the place to be. So Con Expo, March 15th, 3:30ish, Volvo booth.
I need somebody to be there to babysit man behind the scenes for me, because I am not going to be there to babysit him this year.
Cleveland is on it.
Cleveland's on it.
Cleveland is on it. So
I hope Cleveland don't come home with a tattoo this year.
I don't think we have to worry about. I don't think we have to worry about Cleveland coming home with a tattoo. I think we got to worry about man. I'll tell you one thing. I am not paying for a temporary tattoo. If I'm paying for another tattoo, I'm gonna see that
That
thing.
was the most expensive smeared ink
That
job
was
I've
a
ever
that
seen.
was a scam if I ever seen one
Yeah.
right there. That was the
Because
scam.
once he got done, he raised the price.
Yeah, we asked him how much. It's like $120 or something.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like $400 and something dollars
Yeah.
Wow.
to get rubbed off in the sheets.
Because he passed out. And I still don't know if he's telling the truth where all that ink got smeared at that night.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Should have clear coated it.
It was gel ink. I don't know. It was the craziest thing I ever seen.
It was
How long did it take him? Like 2 hours?
he woke up the next morning, we sat there at breakfast, and he ink all over his hand.
The first, I wish I had this on video. He had this ink all over his hand, and he walked out of the bathroom that morning. He was standing there in his boxers. He had ink everywhere. And he was so confused. He stares at his hand, and it's starting to register. He's got ink all over his hand. He immediately looks down his pants. Like, is it black? Of course, my first question is, does it look any bigger? No. And then he looks at me and he's like, what happened?
That's a good night right there.
I still question if anybody paid attention if you got your damage deposit back on that room, because those sheets were ruined.
How long to Officer Hoover makes you put DOT numbers on the truck? Well, I tell you, that's Clint's truck. But as we were removing the DOT numbers on the C8500, me and Aaron were having discussions about how Officer Hoover put them on there for me.
Oh, did he put them on there?
Oh, yeah.
It does have a license plate on it.
I took it on the C8500.
Yeah.
But you know what? Since I bought it from Clint, which he's technically a dealer, I got a 45-day temporary tag
Do
for it.
you? Okay.
So, and I got insurance on it.
Yep.
So I think I'm legal for 42 more days.
42 more days.
Somewhere in there. But,
So, okay.
so you want to talk about the elephant, the big white truck in the back room?
Well, I was gonna say, you didn't actually on scene when it got bought. You've never seen this
I
truck.
didn't see it till it showed up in there.
What's your thoughts on it now?
It's pretty much, I mean, Clint, CNC Equipment bought it for me. And, I mean, obviously, me and Clint's first interaction may not have been
Well,
the
I know.
best, but me and Clint become really good friends, and obviously I trust Clint. He described it very accurately.
Yeah.
Frame on the truck looks brand new.
Clean frame, very
You
clean.
can tell somebody's maintenanced it. It's got the engine in it I want. The cab is average at best, and the bed's been lipsticked up.
Yeah, it's a big lipstick on it.
I probably paid, by the time I paid sales tax, auction fees, shipping, and got it actually here, sitting here in Derby, I feel like I paid probably what the value of the truck is. I didn't get a steal on it, but I didn't overpay for it.
Yep.
But here's the deal, and I told Clint this. So if you guys have watched my videos, the black truck that was down there, everybody's like, it's junk, it's junk, it's junk. Thank God you listened to Clint, you didn't buy the junk truck. Junk's relative. That truck also sold for $25,000 less dollars.
Yeah.
So if you take that into consideration, I'm not sure if that truck still wasn't the better buy.
Yeah.
But the difference is you're going to
You
put
don't have- How much time do you have?
That's
to
the
work on
problem. How do you value my time?
What's the frustration's worth?
it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the frame on this, the frame is probably the deciding factor on this truck. It's like Clint said, and I agree with him 100%. You can fix engine, you can fix transmission, you can fix brakes, you can fix all that stuff, but you can replace frame rails in these trucks, but they're
It's no easy job, is it?
and the frame on the black truck wasn't horrible, but it is nowhere near. And then this truck here, I don't believe it's been wrecked. Their truck was obviously wrecked. So
Somebody suggested Snow White, but I don't know. Is there a 100% guarantee it's going to stay white?
it will for a while.
Okay.
It will until it gets a new bed on it, which will probably be 3 to 5 years.
I know where there's a new bed setting.
Now, Farmer Chris. You're really just going straight to the shit stern here, ain't you? You're going straight for the shit stern. So let's go down that road. So anyways, I did not see the truck till it showed up here. I'm happy with the purchase. Clint, the only thing that I found on this truck that Clinton didn't point out was it's got a cross member busted in it, which ain't a huge deal.
And
of course, we won't really know until we get the truck out on the road and run it. I've already done a few fuel pressure tweaks and a few other things on her.
it come to Derby on a drop deck flatbed, and Derby does not have a loading dock anymore.
Derby does have a loading dock.
A mobile loading dock.
Really?
Just ran the old lowboy right to the back. Well, I had to run the lowboy in the back of his because I could quickly see it was not going to go the other way.
So somebody used their detached trailer as a loading ramp, so they backed up to it and down off of it, down the ground they
How
go.
long did that take?
I did take a long,
Really?
yeah, back
Yeah.
across.
That's pretty
It's
good.
called common sense engineering.
But it shows how much flex is
There
in
you
that.
go.
Shows how much flex is in that walking tandem back there.
Yeah. I bet.
So-
it shows a lot.
Yeah.
Everybody, we can hit on a lot of different things
Yeah.
here. But everybody's like air ride, air ride, air ride. The problem with air ride is if you don't have full lockers, you go nowhere because the air ride does not distribute the weight equally amongst all tires. You always got a free spinner.
Yeah.
That's what Hendrix Walking Beam and Matt Camelback do an outstanding job of, is keeping equal weight playing on all tires, and that's why those trucks will go so much better
But
than.
you very, very, very seldom see a dump truck on air ride, do you?
They're getting more common because they're dumping them on the bump stops and a lot of. They've got the air ride figured out to where they've got a lot. They put roll bars in them, so they take a lot of that sway out of them.
Okay.
But we don't long haul in a dump truck. We short haul.
Yeah.
I care more about durability and traction than I do ride quality. Does that make
You
sense?
just gotta use those airbags right when you're on a dump
Yeah.
truck.
Well, Wayne Linetti. Yeah.
Somebody, a neighbor in the area had a dump truck new to him, air ride dump truck.
Yeah.
He was helping down at Derby Community Center, hauling rock across, and he was flipping the switch, you know, the dump and raising bed or the airbags. Well, when he dumped, he'd air them up.
Had it backwards.
Had it backwards. So then when he was loaded, he had them dumped, and he just beat
He's
the
going
crap
across the
out of them.
corner down there. You hear that old bang, 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 bang. I'm like, damn, that truck's air ride. Why is it riding so rough? Then we finally got him figured out. He had it backwards. He had a switch. I don't know. It's a new truck to him. He had a switch.
New to
He's
him,
like,
yeah.
It feels like riding on a cloud. You can see Wayne with that. But I cover this in an upcoming video, and we'll go ahead and cover it right now. And you guys, you can chime in on this because you know it well. This is the triaxle dump truck. Lieutenant Dan's a triaxle dump truck.
Yep.
That's what the similarities end.
Yeah.
What this truck will do, Lieutenant Dan can't do.
Yeah.
That's why I bought it. I'm not in buy this truck to replace Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
I had a need for this truck that Lieutenant Dan can't fill,
Yeah.
which is why this truck exists. I don't know. I guess from an outsider looking in, maybe that's hard to understand, but for somebody that's actually in the know, I think it's pretty common sense.
This is a good over-the-road highway truck. I mean, Lieutenant Dan can get it done. It's going to be rough fuel economy.
But you couldn't run this truck you couldn't run. Lieutenant Dan's not made to run every day
Every
like
day,
this truck's
yeah.
going to run.
It'd be. What do you think your empty weight is between the two?
So
This
this
should
this
be
truck here, empty weight, should be right around 24. Lieutenant Dan empty weight's probably gonna be around 28. So that's 2
tons.
This truck here, I can haul 21 and a half, and Lieutenant Dan I can haul like 19 and a half ton. So you start heading up and down the interstate 100 miles an hour round trip in 2 extra ton. You haul 6-7 loads a day. That's a whole extra load.
That's another
you're getting
load,
there.
yeah.
And you burn less fuel, and you're a lot more comfortable doing it. And,
Yeah.
this is a much more billable truck
Yeah.
for a return on investment.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's face the facts. Lieutenant Dan is basically a novelty build.
Yeah. It's
It's a fun novelty build, and that's why I haven't pushed hard to get it done, because the ROI is not there like these other projects.
Yeah.
They don't have the return on investment of Bubba Dump. They don't have the return on investment of what the
Tile
plow does. They don't have the return on investment of what this truck's going to do.
Yeah.
So whenever I get caught up on all the other projects that have a better ROI on them than Lieutenant Dan, then Lieutenant Dan comes back in the shop. Everybody's like, why don't you have somebody else do it for you? Because it's my hobby project. Like that's what
you want to do.
That's what I want to do. Like that's the beauty of not having to have it, is I can work on it when I want to.
The C8500 is gone.
It's sold. So I actually did a live feed on my other channel Dirt Perfect. I guess it is my other channel.
Yeah.
What show are we on? We're on the podcast channel, right?
You're on the podcast now.
Got confused there for a second. Didn't know where I was at.
Wow.
Where's he going
You know,
to this?
you know it's bad. You know it's bad when you get lost on the internet.
Yeah.
That happened.
Well, Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah.
No, I did. I guess it was last Sunday. I did a
Yeah.
live feed on the other
Perfect.
channel, and I had like 5 or 6 people reach out to me that wanted to buy the truck, and 2 or 3 of them showed up with cash, and the first one with cash took it. It's got a new home down in Evansville. I think the guy that bought it, I think the application it's going to, they do a lot of subdivision work. They just wanted a random truck to run around the subdivision
Get around
catch all.
subdivision better.
And that truck would be
Which would be better.
absolutely ideal for that.
Yeah.
Tom's got a question for you. You can answer that better than me.
Good question. Oh, is the winter in your area mild compared to normal Connecticut?
I would say,
Yeah, I'm gonna say we have a mild winter.
with the exception of
We've
that
always had
1 week and a
mild
half.
winter, Yeah. You know, as a kid, I think we've discussed before, as a kid, we always had snows that,
Yeah.
4, 5 inches, school's out. Well, school calls out now if they got calling for heavy rain, but you don't see maybe one good heavy snow.
It's not like it's almost like the seasons shifted to me. It's like we used to start getting cold the end of October, and then by the 1st of March it was warming up. It seems
Yeah.
like now they don't really start getting cold till middle of February or middle of November into December. But we'll stay cold through March sometimes.
Yeah.
Whenever I say cold, like where it's consistently up in the 70s every day.
Yeah.
But we still have the cold snaps. They just never line up with precipitation.
Participation. What
I
we
can't
get?
get the snowflakes to participate, you know? That's what I was going for.
We got down to what, 15 below, wind chill, 30 below that one.
That honestly, I think was it 97 when it got real cold like that? We got that big snow and
Yeah.
on top. I think that's the coldest I can remember it being since 97
Yeah.
around here.
Well, we're Indiana and Ohio Valley, so it's going to be, nobody really knows.
We get 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't like the weather. wait
So,
10
question
minutes.
for you guys: do you think the river affects our climate more than the interstate?
I don't know. I live up by the interstate, so
Have you ever watched the storms on the
Yeah.
radar?
I've told somebody before, I said, I don't know how these storms made across Indiana before they built Interstate 64.
I know, because
Everything falls
Exactly.
Interstate
That's
64.
exactly
they could be moving like northeast, and they hit the interstate, they just go due east.
Yeah, they turn.
And I think the river is so windy they can't really follow it. But
no, I think interstate has changed.
The interstate for
yeah,
some reason.
so do you blame that on global warming or global infrastructure?
Engineer.
Engineer.
The road does lead straight to Cummins.
There's a lot of coming marks.
To think I drove over here for this kind of abuse, right?
I was not alive for the blizzard of '78, but I've heard a lot of
was
people.
not either.
I heard a lot of people talk about it. Do you remember it?
Yes, I did.
How old are you?
Man, the shot's still
His
here.
daughter in the background is like,
You give me an age, I can reverse engineer it.
I was born in '73, so
I was gonna say you're pushing 50 or 51.
that's 40. I'm 49.
49.
He's not there yet because he ain't 10 years older than me, and I'm 54.
He's about the same age as somebody else I know, but I don't always claim. So.
Oh, I talked to him at the farm show.
Oh, you did?
He begged me to do a video.
Really? But you had to
Begging.
buy the whole bucket.
Huh?
But you had to buy the bucket.
Matt did a video and he gave him a bucket.
Did he?
They said the video they did was,
Does Matt not know anybody?
they did a video. He said that the guy that owns the company was there, and he said the most successful advertising they ever did was with Longer Wayne.
Oh boy.
I said you need to set your standards higher.
Yeah.
You know who we're talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Is anybody gonna let the cat out of the bag? And we just go, nobody's gonna claim it. So if you're related to him, does that mean you're also related to the? So this is, we'll call him Gator's cousin?
Yeah.
Is that what
He's Gator's cousin to that.
he's Gator's cousin?
Chris gets all this. Farmer Chris gets all this.
Oh boy.
Did I buy a second dozer? No, I haven't bought anything yet. I guess I did buy a truck. It's sitting in the background, but I haven't bought anything else in a while. I bought a bus that, if you guys missed the first half of this, tried to kill me.
Miss Farmer John's on there.
Miss Farmer John, is that who I think it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Howard thinks I owe him $100 for doing farm chores today. Boy, that's expensive.
He must have been talking to his Uncle Bill.
I guess.
I wonder who taught him all those numbers.
Great Uncle Bill's been working on Howard.
Yeah. And then we was working on the water for the hog house. That's why I was late. And there's a leak in a pipe going to the cistern, so he said that cost another $100. So I'm up to $200 on him today.
What was it, last Saturday? I wasn't feeling really good, and the DL550 had to get cleaned up to go back to its home for a little bit. And I talked to kids into dinner. I told them I'd give them $20 a piece, and they were so mad, cold, and wet. By the time they got done, they forgot I owed them $20.
Oh, that never happens, does it?
Oh.
I have a feeling though Howard's going to get his money.
One way or the other, he probably
We'll figure it out.
Matthew wants to know how the 210's doing. The 210's doing awesome. Between having the 200 for rental and the weather and the travel schedule, I don't know if I put 10 hours on it in the last month, but it's still down there ready to go. It's
set in the same spot for a good wall sitting down there.
it's fixing to get rolling. I did put a bunch of hours on the 120 the other day. Did some clearing with it, but. What's your thoughts on a tilt rotator? If you have an application for them, they're awesome. I have no application for them, and they're a complete waste of money for me. But if you have the application for them, they're worth every penny. I just don't have an application for them.
Your area has lots of relatives. Well, it's such a good area, nobody leaves. We all just stay here.
I moved back.
Most of the good ones are in Europe. Did I pay Mrs. Clint's invoice, or is she sitting in the repo, man? I think I'm good.
You think you're good?
I
talked to somebody yesterday and switch subject here, but still about Clint. Talking to Matt Ritchie last night. He knows Clint.
Oh yeah, his boys race.
So they race together quite a bit.
Yeah, he knows Matt.
Circle.
Oh, Mrs. Clinton. I'm clear.
She's been watching in the background the whole time, ain't she?
Well, there you have it, folks. Apparently now I own it. So Mrs. Clint of CNC Equipment, she sent me a 6-page email. One page was the invoice and how much I owed her. The other 5 pages were me signing off that it's as is, no warranty.
Really?
I'm like, I get it. I understand. I'm buying all the problems that come with the truck.
Did she have to invoice you for all the golf cart taxiing around down there too, or was that a free?
No, we worked it out.
Worked that out.
Oh, you know, I forgot. I didn't see my discount on there for.
Oh, discount. Yeah.
You know the aggravating part about all that is whenever she first picked me up, like as soon as I landed in Florida, the first one, me and her were driving around the golf cart. We had this awesome intro, and GoPro decided to screw that up.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we had to re-film the intro, which was not as good, but it was just as good.
More engineering talk. GoPro.
You would think all the
See, look, she even confirms, yes, and I signed it like a champ. I didn't have a choice. She had my title hostage.
You think with all the subs you help her get on her channel, she'd give you a discount.
Well, her husband gave me a pretty big discount on that big green dozer I got. So, and Clint's been, man, I'll tell you what.
Discount was in the fine print.
We need to get her on the podcast.
Oh boy.
Now that she's got a little more comfortable with this social media stuff and got her stuff going, I don't think Clint wants to be anywhere around.
Yeah.
But she would be a lot of fun on the podcast. We got to get her.
I don't know her video or Clint's video. She's recording and talking. I guess her video. Clint gets a phone call and he smacks her and takes off walking.
The best part was, whenever she lost her phone.
Clint like Longer Wade lost her?
Yeah, I forgot all about that. So the first time we went to Florida with Wade, like, there was like 6 of us, and literally we had to follow him around like a little kid and pick his stuff up. He would leave his wallet in this dump truck, he'd leave his phone in that dump truck, he'd leave his camera stuck to that.
Yeah.
Like, we were literally left the auction like 15 miles down the road, and Wade's like, turn around. We go back. He left he test drove a semi And I guess whenever he gets in the semi, the first thing he does is put his ball in the cup holder. So he just hopped out, put his ball in the cup holder, and away we went.
I don't know how you do
And then get
that.
up and leave.
He gets up and leaves.
Main pin thumb or progressive link thumb? Pros and cons, and which do you prefer?
Oh, this is a conversation. Hold just a second. I'm multitasking here. Why won't you go back to your... There we go. We're back in business. All right. Weld-on thumb, barely better than nothing.
Yeah.
Weld-on thumb's out of the question.
If it's a weld-on thumb, it's still got to be a hydraulic thumb to me.
Yeah, so mechanical thumb, might as well not even have
It's
it.
like working through a picket fence all day.
Weld-on thumb, better than nothing, but still kind of junk. Main pin thumb, for a mini excavator or a 200 or bigger size machine is probably first choice. From, let's just say like a 120 through a 210, maybe a 250, I'd go progressive link. It's a little bit application based too. Like if you're doing a bunch of demo work, I think a main pin thumb or a progressive link thumb is almost a gotta have. If you're doing a lot of lane clearing, I think a progressive link thumb is almost a must have. If you're just needing a thumb for like randomly loading rocks or just occasional use, a main pin thumb will get you by. There's a big difference in price between main pin thumb and progressive link thumb. So
Yeah.
you need to, a main pin thumb is good, a progressive link thumb is better, but you need to make sure your application justifies the difference in price. That's
But
what
either one, your thumb really needs to match up to your bucket.
Yes, that's probably more
The
important.
biggest thing.
That's probably more important than a main pin versus a progressive link is that your bucket and your thumb match each other.
Yeah. There's
That's
nothing more aggravating than trying to pick something up and it's never getting a hold of something.
Yeah. The biggest thing a progressive link thumb does is it improves your range of usable motion. You usually end up, like if you're doing demo work or clearing, it'll save you some undercarriage because you're not tracking as much to get into the grab zone. Does that make sense?
Because I was using your 304 a day and it's a main pin thumb.
Uh-huh.
And it's still, sometimes you got to track to get your geometry right.
No, but
to
on
pick
a
something
small
up.
machine, I don't
It don't
think
matter
it
too
don't
much,
matter. Yeah. But a bigger machine. I think like a 120 through a 250, I'd probably go progressive link.
Yeah.
Once you get above a 250, you're probably back to a main pin, and then your smaller stuff, I think you're better off with a main pin.
What's a replacement tire cost on Bubba Dump?
Brand new. So the one tire I bought over the summer, which included the service call, the installation of the tire, and the tire, and it was a Michelin tire, it's a good name tire, it's $3,500. The tire you guys will see in a video coming up, which was a good used tire, cost me $1,200. I got a quote on some tires that was $50,000. So you can go wherever you want to go with tires.
Like tiny tire, probably.
Yeah. So will you buy a second excavator the same size to give the 120 a break? Man, the 120 don't want a break. It wants to go. I will say this though, Matthew, the way the company is right now, I am still dependent on having that size machine, and that machine does have a bunch of hours on it. So if the company continues down the route it's continuing down, I don't know if I'll buy a new machine, but I'd probably at least buy another 120 for parts. Or if the right situation comes along, I may buy another machine. I gotta have a reliable machine in that size. Unfortunately, the 120 proved to be more useful than the 140, so that's why the 120 stayed, the 140 didn't. But that's, I had the 210 all last summer. I sold the 140 at the beginning of summer, and the 120 held its own just fine. So I'll probably get through this year and see how it goes, but I'm not actively looking for an excavator right now. I'll say that.
Chad Bell might be disappointed. 'Cause you're probably leaving town close.
Chad Bell, I will be there briefly on Thursday, but the meet and greet is on Wednesday. And I know myself, Chris, and a lot of the other ones are actually flying out on Thursday. So
Chris is in Let's Dig.
Let's Dig 18. So hopefully we miss you. Hopefully we catch you, Chad Bell. But Thursday is going to be kind of hit and miss.
There was a comment there a while ago about Mr. Millennial and man behind the scenes. So
They'll be out there. Captain Clean will be out there. Mr. Millennial will be out there. Aaron will be out there. You may not see their names on all the official Volvo advertisements, but they will be there. There's 10 of us. Volvo has handpicked 10 of us. I don't want to say everybody because not everybody's announced or fully committed, but Diesel Creek, Let's Dig 18, CNC Equipment, myself will be there for sure. And then there's Jay Paydirt, he's announced he'll be there. So stay tuned. There's some other ones that'll be there and some big names within that list. So stay tuned for that too. So how many hours does the 120 have on it, and would you consider a 120C? The 120 I have has 13,000 hours on it. I would consider a 120C. The 120Cs have common rail fuel versus a rotary pump on them. They also have a Kawasaki pump on them versus Hitachi pumps. They're also direct drive pumps versus gear drive pumps. So there's a lot of differences there, but the C's are still good machines. I would not have a D or a G, but I would have a C. Did you know all that?
Nope. Didn't know any of it.
Watch West Work announced on a video today.
That he'll be there?
I guess.
Awesome. Yeah, Wes was one of the ones that was invited, so hopefully he'll be there. Yeah, I see Aaron. Hopefully he'll be able to make it. John Moore, good deal.
Jim Paydirt will also be at the Louisville Truck Show. Cool.
I'm gonna have to try to catch up with him. Cooper wants me to go to the Louisville Truck Show with him.
I used to go and I haven't been.
Was it called MAPS or whatever?
MATS, M-A-T-S, Mid-America Truck Show. I like the show and shine outside more.
Oh, this is a funny one. I wasn't know if I'm going to upgrade my skid steer to a cat. Well, that would definitely not be an upgrade. So I hate to disappoint you, but no. What about getting an orange 120? So I'm assuming what they're saying when they say an orange 120 would be the Hitachi.
Yeah.
So the biggest difference between the Hitachi and the Deere is the engine, and there's a few computer things that are different as far as some of the settings. If I could find a straight up 120 Hitachi that had the Isuzu motor in it, instead of the Deere motor in it, and missing a few other things, I would definitely consider it. The Isuzu motor, the Isuzu common rail motor is better than the Deere common rail motor, but the Isuzu mechanical injection motor, I think Deere's got it, which I got mechanical injection in mine. So it's the old give and take scenario there a little bit. The first excavator operated was a 490E. The newer 490Es are actually 120s with different cabs on them.
Really?
The older 490s are not, but the latest, like right before they changed over to a 120 was actually a 490E with a different cab on it. What's the weight of the DL550? It's like 18,500 with the blade on it and like 17,800 with the bucket on it.
But you take both of them along with you.
Why did you like the Volvo 140 and why did you like the Hyundai 145? Matthew, it's not that I didn't like the Volvo 140 and that I love the HX 145A. For what I do, the 140 was too quick, too clunky, and didn't have enough oomph. Now, there's an application out there that somebody's doing, which is exactly what they're looking for, is what that 140 did. I never could get comfortable in that machine. It's probably me more than it is the machine. The HX 145A operated much similar to the 120. which just felt a lot more comfortable to me.
If you was slinging dirt fast,
if you were just like, say we were in the church pit and we were just top loading trucks,
Yep.
or if we were just digging a basement and slinging
Yep.
dirt, honestly, the 140 was the machine to have. And if you guys watch my channel, you would see that.
Yeah.
Like the 140 was on jobs to where we were just slinging dirt, digging
Yeah.
basements, loading trucks, borrow pit, whatever. You'll see the 120 on like the clearing jobs or the rock jobs, or where I just needed straight up brute strength, and power didn't matter. So that's where the 140 versus the 145, which the 145 is basically Hyundai's version of a zero tail swing. Volvo makes a 145 as well. So, they're both. I don't want to say either one of them's a bad machine because they both have their strong suits. It's just kind of what you're doing and what you're accustomed to. And part of the problem is me as an operator. It's what I'm looking for personally, not. The next guy that's used to running something like that, he may think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Do you like to destroy houses, motorhomes, apartment buildings?
like to destroy stuff.
I mean, out of all the ones you listed, I just seem to be a house. Motorhomes and trailers. The worst thing to tear down is a single wide trailer.
Yeah.
Them things are.
You just got metal to deal with too.
Well, you touch them, they're like a bomb. They just go everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like with a house, you clean the floor up. You put everything on the floor and you clean the floor up.
Yeah.
Well, the floors are so flimsy, you punch it through into the bottom, and then you're in the damn dirt. And then you got this freaking slinky trailer frame you can't bend up. It's ripping hoses off.
How about a huge barn?
Oh, save the beams.
Yeah, just don't light on fire.
Save the beams.
I'll tell you what, those barns, you look at them like a bunch of toothpicks holding them up. They're some of the hardest things to get on the
It took
ground.
forever to get that thing down, didn't it?
So Matthew, you're talking about the Hyundai 210 versus the Volvo 200. That's a tough question too, because that I really like, and there's things the Hyundai do that I really like. The reality of it is the Volvo 200 was faster and smoother than my 210. Hands down, faster, smoother. The 210 is stronger and way more fuel efficient. So if you're going for strength and fuel efficiency, Hyundai. If you're going for smoothness and speed, Volvo.
Fuel efficiency is pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, the Hyundai is not as fast as the Volvo, but the Volvo is not as strong as the Hyundai. The Volvo is smoother. The Hyundai burns less fuel. Again, I think they're both good machines. I just don't. It kind of goes down to application based, right? Like, what's your application? Steve wants to know why we're not doing Lieutenant Dan. You want to take it this time?
Well, it's return on investment.
Return on investment.
The tile pile made a lot of money for what ours we put in it.
Yeah.
The dump truck here is more efficient on the highway, doing what it's going to do. So, Lieutenant Dan's more like a hobby project, and you want to do it on your own time, your own schedule. So when you got a finished product, you're proud of what you got at the end.
So just because they're both triaxle trucks, that's pretty much where the similarity ends. This truck's got a lot better return on investment than Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan's a hobby build, not a production build. Excuse me. So that's why it keeps getting to the back burner, and it's a build I want to do myself when I got time. So whenever I have time, I'm going to do it myself. That's when we're going to do it. So. Old school, them trucks were some oddball suckers, man. That was, they were pretty interesting. Them, I don't know how you pronounce them, Armados trucks down there at the auction. Tom wants to know if you got any new equipment in your lineup this spring. You've been adding a bunch of equipment last couple of years too. You bought a tractor there towards the end of the year, didn't you?
Yeah, we bought a used tractor there in July to fill the hole because last April we ordered a new tractor. They told me 2 years. Then the Cuff plant went on strike, so now we're looking at 3 years. So come July, we need to fill in a hole, so we bought a used tractor to fill in that hole.
Mad Dog wants to know if we modified the tile plow. Yes, that video's already been posted. We actually did a little tile job for Farmer Chris back this fall, and Aldi Moore, bump and dump, run Lieutenant Dan's chances. That's not true really at all either. I don't know why everybody's trying to. Isn't it amazing how people are better at running their business than you? And they know all the answers with a little bit of information you give them.
Talking to an engineer with this?
Yes,
yeah, I get this, yeah. Okay.
If there's a job that pops up where Lieutenant Dan's going to be the most efficient and economical way to do that job, that truck will get finished real quick and in a hurry. But right now, there's just other stuff on the radar that makes way more sense to do. But we're getting caught up. Actually, before I bought this truck, Lieutenant Dan was getting ready to come in the shop.
Yeah,
And this truck don't need a whole lot of work. We're just doing some services on it, so.
I can vouch for that. I mean, I know he had plans on getting that in here. It's been discussed.
Matthew, if you buy the DL550, would you sell the 240? Probably not the 240. I'd probably sell the D4. But it also depends on what type of tracks I had on the DL550 because they do have a rubber tracked option. So, Old School wants to know if we ever got Jerry into the 550. Jerry will be in a couple shop videos coming up because just he stopped by to check on us. But he usually stays pretty close. He's itching to get going, but he stays pretty close around the house this time of year. He's retired, so we don't make him get out in the weather unless we have to, except for that first year.
Yeah.
For sulfur.
Somebody asked what brand tractor. We run New Holland pretty religiously.
So
somebody's asking about Logger Wade, but we tried getting him on a podcast.
Whenever somebody else couldn't read the calendar, we tried to get, because it was raining that day, we thought maybe we'd get him in here, but that
Sean's still long. That's great.
Yeah. Wade sure does stay busy. You know, headlights coming down the driveway, but
that looks like a golf cart.
That's what they look like, a golf cart. You know, if I'm going past Sawmill, because Sawmill's only about 4 miles from my house, so, you know, I can stop and say hi, but Wade's got a whole new attitude, I think, and he stays head down on that Sawmill.
So you run blue tractors. Is that because they're the best, or what you like, or what you can afford, or what you get service for?
Parts availability.
Parts availability?
Yeah. My brother John was a John Deere mechanic for 7 years, so he said stay away from the green ones.
Boy, he's stirring the pot now.
Man.
But no, we do run
I
a
was a
John
heavy
Deere.
truck mechanic for a while. I'll tell you to stay away from the red and black ones.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
Yeah. It don't matter.
We
what
do
you
run
get.
John Deere combine though.
It don't matter what you get or what you do. They're gonna have issues. They're gonna break. So, get some landscaping and construction. I greatly appreciate that. Really appreciate that a lot. So, we're getting more and more people over here on the podcast channel all the time. So be sure to share and like it. It's nice to come over here and have long-winded conversations about random topics. It's kind of hard to do on the main channel. And a lot of times we get Jason on here, which helps us out quite a bit.
But podcast season might be winding down.
Podcast season is definitely winding down. We're going to probably record 1 or 2 more tonight, and then they'll probably air through about mid-April, and that's going to be a wrap. We'll try to get her fired back up into sometime in October, November.
Yeah.
So.
Did Farmer Chris get his basement entrance finished? That video ought to be coming up really soon.
Oh yeah, that video hasn't posted yet, has it?
No.
Yeah, so you had another contractor come in and pull the concrete tops. We showed back up and down there.
The final
Did
landscape.
the final landscaping. And
I turbo jetted my leaf
yeah, there is pictures of his finished product on my Facebook and Instagram page, I believe.
Yeah.
Looking off screen to my manager over here.
Me good.
Yeah, Justin. Everybody seems to enjoy the podcast. So it's usually I don't know if for educational, I don't know if for entertainment. It's just kind of us talking about our thoughts on different stuff. You know, people ask us a lot of random questions and try to elaborate, try to get people like Gator on here and talk about random stuff. So,
any big pond builds coming up? But
Yeah.
I know there's a big pond build. Tear down.
we got 2 builds coming up. Last year we did a bunch of building paths and didn't do a bunch of ponds. This year we got a bunch of ponds and no
Yeah.
building paths. So,
I know we got a pond to tear down. Is what I was saying.
oh, that's I didn't forget. Well, I didn't forget about
Yeah.
that one, but the big we got a big pond reconstruction.
Yeah, you got big pond reconstruction.
But somebody asked me what dozer I would looking to buy. Probably my preference. I'm not a big John Deere guy, but a John Deere H or J series dozers are hard to beat. That's probably going to be my first go-to. If it's not a Deere, it's probably going to be a Cat. If it's not a Cat, it's probably going to be a Case. One of my advantages or one of my draws to buy a John Deere dozer is now my relationship with Clint is he's so diverse in working on them.
Yeah.
So just having him available to whenever I have a problem or whatever, I don't ask anything for Clint free, but Clint's got all the equipment, he's got the knowledge, that's.
You got a good relationship with Clint going.
So if buying a John Deere dozer gives me, access to his knowledge if I need it's worth something. So, I do like that D4 I got. It's been a good dozer.
What little I've been on, it's easy to operate for me. So,
Yeah,
but I'm really good at making whoop-de-doos with it.
Yeah, and I like my B and I like my J. They're both good dozers. I've ran a lot of Cat dozers I like. I've even been on some Case dozers I like.
Same video you just posted where you brought B out of retirement. You kind of touched on the issues, the differences in the pros.
Yeah,
of each one.
they've all got pros and cons. So, looky there, trying to sneak in. Grab the microphone. Everybody will know you're here. There's one left.
I don't know how these microphones work. Let me pull up a seat here.
This is perfect because you're just about done.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
How's this working?
This clipper somewhere.
How you doing?
good. How you doing, Captain?
Good. I'm doing great.
Snuck right in here, didn't
So
you?
everybody wants to know why Lieutenant Dan's not done. It's because he's sitting in the seat.
Yeah, he's in the seat.
Been borrowing it.
Oh, which
right.
dozer would Jerry like?
He's the 850B fan now.
He's hard to get off that 850B. Jerry likes anything that's not new. That'd be the best way I know how to describe it. Best way I know how to describe it. So.
Is this like a live thing? Are you
Yeah, we're live.
Wow. That's amazing.
Captain does a few of them every once in a while, don't you?
Don't
Every
worry,
once in a
Captain.
while.
There's absolutely nobody watching this, but everybody's saying hi to you. So
595 people are watching it. Yeah, I got her now. Hey, everybody, how you doing? I got her, bud.
So if we could ever find, well, this is the second podcast we've done that we know Jason works lots in the vicinity, but we haven't found him
We
yet.
still haven't
ran
found
into
Jason.
I just ran into him down at the market.
So hopefully he's on his way here because we had a Cummins engineer here. It didn't go so well. He lost a lot of battles.
Another subjective comment.
Hey, your microphone works. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah.
But there was this is totally random, but we went to
fantastic.
we went to this place up north that had all these Volvo parts. You know what the most amazing? There was probably 50 or 60 dismantled Volvo haul trucks.
I'm going to stop you right there. Here's the thing. They're not working where there's trees. Okay?
Every one of them had the mirrors on it yet.
Really?
Every one of them.
They're in open pits.
Aaron's walking around, Cleveland in, drive out. But now, hold on, in Cleveland's defense, I don't think you've ever drove above a dump, period.
No, I haven't.
So,
Which means I haven't ran it through a tree, or a fence, or nothing.
At least you don't need a step stool to get him above a dump, like little short guy does.
That's very true.
no, hey, he can say what he wants to about the broken mirror, but it kind of launched his social media career.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
If only I'd have had a camera the first 6 times. That's what we'd be today.
Oh, took that long to catch the thing.
You put that piece together and sent it to somebody as a gift, didn't you? That mirror?
Yeah, I did.
That's what I thought.
I made a lamp out of it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I sure did.
So for
Somebody's
you guys
got it.
that don't know what we're talking about, Cleveland and I still work together quite a bit, but he still works for me quite a bit, but you usually do stuff on your own. We're not together as much as we used to be.
Right.
We kind of teamed back up. He was delivering dirt, and I told him, I said, watch this limb going down this driveway.
I watched it.
Got smacked.
It got closer and closer.
I think the video on my channel is called Cleveland's Confessional.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it's worked out pretty good for both of us. Everybody gets mad at me for picking on Aaron or picking on Matt or picking on you. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
I mean,
It's part of it.
it's not any different off camera than what it is on camera.
No.
Actually, we may be a little bit nicer on camera than what we are off camera.
Yeah, I would say so.
So,
Captain, you get the website fixed for t-shirts.
Yeah, Max, the website's fixed for t-shirts. It is fixed.
did you get your website up and going?
I had one, and then I stopped at pre-orders, and I had a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch, I had like 25 extra shirts, and I put that on, but Shopify deleted all my shipping information, and I didn't realize that, so people couldn't check out. It should be up and going now, Max. I've had a few orders this evening.
I got some 2 brand new Captain Cleveland sweatshirts that are in tall, so I'll be able to wear them. I'm pretty excited about.
High vis.
I'm gonna keep one for work and one for good, so I'm pretty excited about that. Real quick before we get off here, we
Yep.
have to get off here. You will be in Vegas as well.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
See how the plane ride goes, you know what I mean?
So I'm more worried about your kids you got to babysit.
Well, hopefully he gets a room by himself so he can edit videos.
Here's the thing. Everybody says I'm babysitting Aaron. He's a grown man. All right? If he can't handle it, he doesn't need to go. Okay?
Well, are you rooming with him? Because he might be your problem one way or another.
It's true. It's true.
So when
Last time we went to Vegas, not the last time,
he
first time I went to Con
failed,
Expo.
he failed miserably as Aaron's babysitter, so you have low
Yeah, but the
standards.
first time I went to Con Expo, I roomed with Captain.
This is true.
So we had some downtime. He's sitting over on his bed doing some voiceovers. After the 5th voiceover, the same thing kept redoing it. I just turned around my bed and faced the wall. I thought, well, I'm making him nervous watching him. He turned around and goes, what are you doing? I said, let you do your thing.
Oh my goodness.
That's a good time.
Yeah, and Cleveland's subscriber interactions are pretty priceless as well.
Well, hey, whatever. God.
But no, we will all be at the Volvo booth. So Wednesday, March 15th, Volvo booth, probably around 3 o'clock. Captain will be there, Matt will be there, Aaron will be there, Farmer Chris will not be there, I will be there. Several others will be there. Should be a pretty good time.
Yeah, so
We will be at the show Tuesday and Wednesday. You guys are flying home Thursday, correct?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Hopefully Matt's got a plan on that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Matt's your travel agent.
Matt's my travel agent.
And Aaron's your kid.
and then July the 8th.
July the 8th, I didn't tell Captain about that, I keep forgetting, but July the 8th, we're having a free YouTube meet and greet at the Perry County Fair.
It's Perry County, Indiana,
Perry County, Indiana.
Tell City area.
Cannot make it.
You working that day? Captain's gonna be out on that one, but Aaron will be there, Matt will be there, Chris will be there, Clint's coming down, I think Chris Let's coming in, a few others that are gonna kind of see what their schedules align. The draw of the one at the Perry County Fairgrounds is it'll be free. So if you show up before 3 o'clock, you don't have to pay to come see us. Unfortunately, the downside of Louisville and the downside of Vegas is you got to pay to get in the show or travel to get there. So I guess you will have to pay for your travel to get there. But as far as actually getting into the fair,
Oh, I'm not paying for everybody's travel.
no. But if you get yourself to Tell City,
Yeah.
you're there at 3 o'clock, you can get in free to see
get
us.
in.
They will start taking gate at 3:30ish.
3:30, I think, somewhere in there.
'Cause they're gonna tractor pull that
'cause
night,
We got
so-
a tractor pull that evening, so
But
Even then, you're not talking about a crazy
it's
amount.
$10.
it's
per
$10.
person.
Yeah. So honestly, if you come that
A
far,
freaking Con Expo ticket's
$250.
$250, you know.
And you're talking 1,000 for a hotel, and I mean
Yeah.
you're talking.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people aren't going to Con Expo just to see us.
Yeah.
But if you were going there just to see us, you're going to spend
Spend some money,
$3,000. If you go to Louisville to see us, you're probably going to spend $1,000, which we greatly appreciate if you do
Yeah.
that. But if you go to the one in Tell City,
At the most, you're gonna be $10 gate fee.
at the most you're going to be a $10 gate fee, and you get to support the local 4-H. So
Yeah.
that's all good. So. All right, gentlemen, we're going to have to wrap this one up because Captain is officially here. Jason should be on his way, and we're going to try to sneak a podcast in with him because he's been a pretty requested guest. I got to find my GoPro app so I can turn the live off here at some point. So
See you
you
guys.
guys have rambled on for 115 minutes, 115 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes.
So, all right, don't forget, see you guys in Vegas. Got a couple new podcasts coming.